Hello. So today we have a grad student from Singapore, and please briefly introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Li Hui. I'm from Singapore. I'm currently doing my master's in business administration at the College of Business in Seoul.
Okay, so it's nice to have you here, and we'll start from the beginning. How has your academic path been from before grad school?
So I did my undergraduate degree at the University of Oxford, and I majored in geography. And after that, I did my master's in urban planning at University College London.
Okay, so before coming to KAIST, how would you describe your GPA?
We didn't have a GPA system. I would say that I did quite well. I had a few and was fortunate enough to get a few academic recognition awards in my time at Oxford as well. I think more importantly, I would say that my academic performance has been inclined towards a more interdisciplinary approach. So I had all the fun writing my dissertations, and I very often focus at the intersection of society and technology. So I think that led to a very natural decision to eventually apply to KAIST for my MBA.
Okay, so since you were such a super person, what made you choose KAIST besides all the other universities?
Yeah, so before I came to KAIST, I spent some time working at a advanced air mobility startup. So from there, I also had exposure to the Korean market. I think that was very instrumental in my decision to come to KAIST, because KAIST is really at the intersection of engineering technology in Korea. And being in Korea also allowed me to get a better understanding of the market and how businesses really operate here.
Okay, then which part of your background do you think most supported your application to KAIST?
I think it was really my work experience. So working in advanced air mobility, I really had an exposure to how new technologies are being developed and how they are being implemented in society. And I think that really made me decide that I wanted to go and do an MBA in an institution that was really focused on technology and innovation.
So KAIST was a good choice.
Yeah, KAIST was a great choice.
So at KAIST, are there any opportunities for internship programs or collaborations with industries?
Yeah, so there are lots of opportunities for internships and collaboration with industry. I was fortunate to get an internship with IB Investment, which is one of the earliest venture capital firms in Korea. And there I managed to get an exposure to a very wide variety of startups and the way that they are trying to formulate their business plans and go about executing their technology. And during this internship, I also had the opportunity to do a market landscape analysis for the robotics industry and also identify high potential robotic startups in Korea. So that was a very interesting internship for me. I think beyond that, KAIST also encourages students to go outside of the classroom and pitch projects to industry. So I managed to kind of cobble together a team of international students, and we managed to pitch More Pacific to work on a marketing and market entry project for their Seoul Experience Center in Dongdaemun. So I think that was really exciting for us to get a closer look at K-beauty and how these firms are trying to kind of enter and better cater to the foreigner market in Korea.
So it looks like you had a lot of experience through many things, but what was the most rewarding part of your time at KAIST?
I think the most rewarding part of my time at KAIST is really the overall opportunity to develop the skills that I wanted to develop. So when I came to KAIST, the two things that I really wanted to work on were my finance knowledge and also my data analytics knowledge. So the KAIST program really enabled me to work on these skills. At the same time, also be with our classmates who are very much entrepreneurial. They are very much trying to kind of find a way to come up with an idea to start their own startup. So through that, I've also had the opportunity to kind of share my views on foreign market entry, on how they could cater to the foreigner market in Korea. So I think the back and forth and the overall environment has been a very nurturing one, and one that I've been able to explore my interests.
That's nice to hear. Okay, I want to change the topic to Korean life. So, do you speak Korean well?
I would say that I speak Korean quite well, but of course still continuously studying every day.
Okay, then you are lucky to speak Korean well, but do you think students can manage at KAIST without speaking Korean?
Yes, so the programs here are designed to be mostly in English, and as a foreign student, you can pass all your required credits by taking only the English classes. But of course, at the same time, there are interesting classes that are only available in Korean as well. So being able to speak Korean really opens up the kind of breadth of classes that you can take, and also gives you a better understanding of the Korean culture and Korean market.
But so are there classes or any education you can get from KAIST to learn Korean?
In my very first term, I started my term with Korean language class. And this was supported by KAIST, so that students have the opportunity to either refresh their Korean knowledge or also kind of start learning Korean if they are completely new to the language. So at the class that I was in, we managed to kind of discuss with the teacher to direct the way we wanted the Korean language to be taught, because most of us were MBA students and we wanted to be able to learn more business-focused Korean. So I think that was a great opportunity for us to kind of direct our own learning and also get a chance to learn Korean.
Yeah, talking one-on-one is the best, I think, language. And what surprised you the most about life at KAIST or at Korea?
I think what was really surprising about life in Korea is the speed of things, the way Korean culture and society as a whole is able to respond so quickly to trends. So I think one of the first things that I was most surprised by was the next morning delivery service. I think that's probably unmatched in the world. And then more recently, I think the Dubai Choco craze was so crazy. But I think looking at it slightly in a more deeper way, I think the way that the product was able to spread throughout all the supply chains, you could find it in bakeries, cafes, shopping malls, and the convenience store within a span of a few weeks really showed how quickly trends spread across the society, how quickly businesses respond, and how consumers are really sensitive. So I think that also really gives me a better first-person look at how the Korean market works.
So that gave you like an insight in marketing.
Yes, you need to work really fast in Korea.
Okay, next question. How do you balance your academic responsibilities and the rest of your life?
I think the fact that this question gets asked quite a lot at KAIST says a lot about KAIST. I think one of the kind of good or interesting memories that I have is one of the MBA exchange students asking me during the first week of school why KAIST has so many assignments, especially for an MBA course. And I think that really points to the very academically driven culture at KAIST. But at the same time, especially because I'm in an MBA program, then we do take time to just kind of hang out and chill out, because that's also part of business.
Yeah.
And for example, during the finals week, I did go for a dinner gathering with various peers across different MBA programs. And most of us had a difficult exam the next morning, but we decided to still hang out, and at 10, go back home to sleep and study. So I think we very much try to balance having fun, but still really keeping up with the academic pace.
Yeah, it's nice to see that you've found your balance.
Yeah.
Okay, now the next question is maybe something you might not be sure of yet, but what's after KAIST? What are your future plans?
So after KAIST, I still plan to work in roles at the intersection of technology, strategy, and cross-border partnerships, because that's really building on the experiences that I have, as well as the new skills that I've gained at KAIST.
Okay. Now, before we wrap up, for students and future applicants of KAIST who will be watching the video, why do you think they should choose KAIST?
Well, I think KAIST is really known for being a leading university in Korea for science, technology, and engineering. So if that is the path that you want to take, then KAIST is a great choice. And I think for the MBA program specifically, the MBA program is designed so that you can have access to different pathways. You can choose an entrepreneurial pathway, you can choose a kind of marketing-focused pathway, you can choose an analytics-focused pathway, or even a finance-focused pathway. So there are many ways for you to kind of build your skill set across these different streams. So for example, I had the chance to build on my finance knowledge, but at the same time take interesting analytics classes like social network analysis. So I think that was very well suited to the multidisciplinary approach that I wanted to take. And I think secondly, for the MBA program as well, we as foreign students, we are in the same classroom, in the same program as Korean students. So this is not always the case for other MBA programs in Korea. So if you want to learn alongside Korean students to get kind of a first-hand look at the culture, as well as kind of the way interactions are made, the way relationships are formed in Korea, then I think that's a kind of good program for you to consider.
Okay, thank you. And finally, looking back, what is one thing that you wish you would have known before you came to KAIST or Korea?
I think I've always known that, context, relationships are very important in Korea. But I think it's only when you are really in Korea that you kind of understand how important that is. And of course, in relation to that, it's also learning outside of the classroom. So I think KAIST students or students who are attracted to KAIST are all very academically focused. But of course, a lot of the learning also takes place outside of the classroom. So I think especially in an environment like KAIST, where the school really encourages learning outside of the classroom, really encourages entrepreneurship. I think that's something that, looking back, maybe I'll have given a bit more thought to. So maybe, for example, I've thought of my startup before I came to KAIST and not try to think about it when I'm at KAIST. I think that's maybe one of the takeaways for incoming students.
That was a very helpful piece of advice.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that so honestly. And so this is it for today. And I hope this was helpful for our viewers as well. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll see you next time. Bye.